All right, ladies, I am so excited for you all to be here. Obviously, we have an incredible speaker. I'm going to allow her to jump in here in just 1.2 seconds. But let me introduce, obviously, my dear friend, I want to call Lyndsi, because literally Lyndsi and I talk every single day. She's one of my most favorite people. She's 11-star diamond coach from Arizona, mama 2 boys, and an amazing husband named Hal. If you don't know Hal, love him. But she is really here to share some excitement, some wisdom on how she has been able to really find the joy within the business for, is it 7 years now?
Yeah, 7 years.
7 years. And really, she has been a participant in the 2B Mindset test group, has had amazing results. I won't speak to that because I want her to be able to share that. But how about we just do this, Linz? Why don't we just go ahead and have you just start in, tell us a little bit about you, and then tell us your secrets to your wisdom on how you have found joy the last 7 years as being a Beachbody coach.
Sure. I wrote like a ton of notes for you guys because I feel like there's you're always evolving in this business. But I've been a coach for 7 years and I've never missed a month of Success Club, which is pretty cool. I think that's like 84 or 85 months or something like that. Crazy. Awesome. And, it's been such a wild ride and I have been elite multiple times. Like I've done a lot of stuff. I've lost weight. I've gained weight through it. I've lost weight through it. I've gone back and forth. So Brittany wanted me to talk to you guys about how I found joy, and it brought me back to, in 2016, the business for me was just thriving. Like everything was just growing. And what was interesting about it and all these years, despite the fact that everything was growing and I was like seeing so much success, I still was walking around with a super negative mindset. Like it had to be hard. It had to be tough. Like I have no idea why I was like that, and I don't know that I even was aware of how it was. And so really when 2016 started to come in and 2017, I was like starting to become more and more aware of mindset. And I was like, oh, wow, I am like negative. Despite the fact that I had seen all this success, I was like super, super negative. And I was looking at, my team, and I was trying to figure out through 2017, I was trying to figure out like, what is it that I can do to help them? Like, what's going on here? What's the disconnect? Because some of them were super struggling and some of them were thriving. And I was just trying to like figure this whole piece out. And what I, really came to figure out through studying, I started to study mindset, which I encourage you to do if you've never done it. It's such a cool topic. And there's like real like podcasts and like amazing trainings and books. And I found, negative limiting beliefs around money. I found negative limiting beliefs around, can I really do this stuff? And I would still like fight my way through because fighter is my personality, like fight. But what I found through studying this stuff was like, you don't have to be in that type of mindset. And when you are, like your team is feeding off that, like subconsciously they're picking up on all these things. Like they still see you being successful, but they see it being kind of hard, and they're like, yeah, like I was thinking about that. I'm like, I wonder if they, just see me as this like powerhouse girl and I can't be that person. And so I was trying to like figure these things out. And so through this time, like I had people that were going, in other directions, and it was like, what is going on? Like, how do I fix this? And, I talked to my success partner, which I'm going to talk to you guys more about that in a second. But one of the things that she told me that was like a game changer for me that I sort of was doing, but she said like, you need to, she had said to me, this new girl joined her team and she's like, I'm going all in on her for a year. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, I'm going to help her develop a 6-figure business. And I was like, explain yourself. Like, what are you talking about? And so she explained to me, really looking at your teams and looking at who you have that has like that energy that you are like so excited to work with. Like I'll get some of these guys, and a lot of them can be downline. They're not necessarily PS. I mean, PS is good too, like, which means you still want to be in phase one, of course. You still want to take care of your business too. But like what I found was there were people that were so excited and so passionate and in love with the business, and they had vision. And that was something that I've never, like, that is one thing that I think does bring me a lot of joy is like, I 100% trust corporate and Carl. Like I watch how he is. I watch what he cares about. I watch the things he's bringing us. Like 2B mindset is like game changer, like total, like I think it's going to be bigger than the 21-day fix launch, like total game changer. And I see what he does and how much they care. I see how they shift. Like, okay, this isn't working. Coaches are struggling. Let's shift. So for me, I was always holding super tight to this vision of, hey, 20 years from now, they're going to make sure that these coaches are taken care of. And like, I was always like, why can't everyone get this vision? Like what's going on? But those who did, those who were on board were the ones that I reached down and I started spending time with them. I just gave them like an hour of my time once a week, once every 2 weeks. And I would start to connect with their coaches and figure out like how I can help them. And I learned like I've done things like this sort of in the past, but I never like gave it a long-term mentorship, if you will. And because they need time, the business takes time. Like you can't do a lot in 30 days. That's 4 calls with somebody. So I actually found a ton of joy in this because what would happen is I'd meet with them and, you know, when you meet with them, you're busting limiting beliefs. You're helping them get through the struggle. You're figuring out like where they're stuck. You're figuring out how many people they've talked to. You're figuring out, you know, where they're at with Success Club. You're figuring out how many coaches they've recruited, because at the end of the day, if you want to build this business and make, you know, a really big income, you have to build a team of people who want to do this with you. And so I would be like accountability, like, okay, how many recruited? Where are we at? And then it was always like, okay, what are you struggling with? And then it was getting their mindset, again, back to mindset, was getting their mindset straight and just telling them like, hey, you can do this. Like, and I'm telling you, I would get the funnest, like most energizing messages. Like I still get them because this is one of the most fun parts of this business. And I sort of resisted this idea of one-on-one calls in the past. I was like, no, I'll just, you know, voice memo them. It's no big deal. Or I'll just do a chat thread. No big deal. I don't have to actually give them my time. But they really, and when I say this, I don't mean everybody. I mean, be very specific. Like they give you life. Like you love connecting and working with them. And there's only a handful. It's a very small handful, but that's what can really build a big business at the same time. That's how you can develop leaders. So that was such a key piece that when we were going through, you know, some of the challenging times, it brought so much joy to me. Okay. And then also when it comes to mindset, I started to learn about energy, right? And, you know, work with the people that bring you energy. This was all, I literally started learning this less than a year ago. And really understanding like you're not here to drag people, and new coaches are a different story because they need you to handhold for a bit. They need you to, you know, they need quick wins so they can get excited about the business. And that might mean, you know, a boost or bars or something. It may not mean the challenge pack quite yet, but it could be. But I think just being open-minded about that stuff, a quick win for them, and they're like, oh, I can do this. Like it builds their confidence. And so what I like to do with them is I like to help them. I like to talk to the people with them. The first just couple people, it's not like it consumes all my time, and get in there and really help them see how I talk to people and help them just jumpstart their business. So the other thing that we did was I have incredible success partners, and I urge you guys to really dig deep to find incredible success partners. They're like, they give me life every day. I talk to them every day. Like I talk to Brittany every day. And we literally started to, I think in December, we started launching different things every single month for our team. We basically combined everything together, and we did 80-day obsession launch all together. We brought the team in. We were like, let's bring all the energy to one room. Let's, or one group. Let's, we created graphics and like info pages that all they had to do was connect with people and send them. We made their lives 10 times more easier, and we had a blast doing this for them. All the while, I know this sounds like, I will say that I still was bringing on new people myself. It made that whole system easier, in my opinion. In January, we launched an Instagram Academy for them so they could understand how Instagram works. We brought in people that really do great with Instagram so they could sit down and learn, and it was all in one separate group. Then in I think that was January, February, and like March, we launched out what we call introductory groups. So we started talking about what you do pre-challenge group, like what kind of free groups can you launch? What kind of, we talked about, maybe they just need energize first or boosts or things like that, like starting them here and then moving them up. And we brought on our leaders to help run these, groups, like Natania on the call. She's one of my coaches. And I was like, hey, you're really good at free groups. Can you come on and teach what you do? So they all felt a part of it. So it wasn't just us like telling them what to do. And then of course, we're getting ready for the next launch, To Be Mindset. So that made it like so fun. And then we're doing a Surge to Summit. So that's coming up next after we launch To Be Mindset. And then after Summit, we're going to do a volume recruiting focused type of training. And we just continue to always keep them focused on one thing versus like having them all over the place. Like, wait, what am I doing? What am I focused on? So it helps them learn and stay focused. Okay, let's see. Through Instagram, actually, the business started to become really fun because we picked up on stories. And if you haven't used Instagram stories, you really should, because they are so much fun. I love them, and I am getting tons and tons of people over there. And I don't know. It's just so, I'm sure you guys have heard Carl, like that is all he talks about right now. And you can get so creative in how to connect with people. Like I tell them all, like, put the poll up and say, do you want to join my next group? Or would you like to lose 5 to 15 pounds in the next 90 days? Yes or yes, right? Like I don't allow them to say yes or no. It's yes or yes. So they're going to get responses, and they're going to have people to talk to. So that's one of like my favorite things about Instagram stories is there's just so many creative ways to get those people, because they're following you because they want to be with you, and you can be you on stories. You don't have to be, on Facebook Live, like share, being professional, although you should be professional, but you know what I mean. It makes it fun, and it brings so much joy. So in November, I saw the To Be Mindset. I went to leadership. We went to leadership, and I saw the video that Alana came on the stage, and she was like, everybody around me loses weight. Literally, the makeup lady lost weight. And I was like, what is this woman doing? And I remember seeing one of the coaches at Summit who was in the actual sizzle video for To Be Mindset. And I remember her walking by me, and I was like, what is she doing? Like, what program is she doing? And sure enough, it was the To Be Mindset. I was like, oh my God, like I need this in my life. I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I have struggled with weight pretty much forever. And I was told, it's going to be hard. You've got autoimmune problems. I had infertility battles. I have twins. They're 5. And to have them, I went through injections and meds and then bed rest and all this stuff. And, I did this all while coaching, by the way, and the reason that I'm successful and all of this was happening was because I just was very honest about what was going on in my world. I just was very open book, and it would attract people to me. And so that is the key, of course, is to just be very honest, even when you're the weight's going the wrong direction. And you know what I'm saying? I was just honest about it, and it I think that really helps people trust you, and it connects with another person out there. So I see this 2B mindset, and I get a call like, get invited to be a part of the group, the test group in November. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, I got introduced to how the program works, and I've lost 25 pounds since, which about 4 months now, about 25 pounds. We went through the holidays. We went through Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. All of my family's birthdays are all December. It's the craziest month ever. And I was like, I'm armed and ready to handle this month. Like, I know how to handle this now. I know exactly what I need to do. You don't have to struggle with the restrictions or binging, on the Christmas cookies and then being like, so you guys will learn more about that soon. But the program, so let me just back up for a minute. Chris Downing came in April, and I met him in the Dominican Republic, and I met him by going to the workout. And I remember walking out of there being like, did I just go to church? Like, what just happened? And he really started to talk mindset and affirmations and how you have to think on a next level thinking despite where you're at right now. And when I was going through the past 7 years or 6 years, I was not thinking on this level. And I wondered why are they struggling? Or what is the deal? Like, I couldn't figure it out. And I'd be like watching every video, like, what's missing? And through Chris, my husband was in the Shift Shop test group. So I would sneak in and listen to Chris's live videos. If you guys have never heard Chris live, he's amazing guy. Working out with him is a next level thing. It's way more than fitness. And Alana comes in, and she's in that next level too. And I'm starting to see a trend. And I'm like, okay, I've been studying this mindset stuff and starting to implement, money mindset and things like that. And now I'm starting to see these guys do this. And I'm seeing this whole trend start to happen. And you'll learn, as you meet Alana, you'll really you'll see what I mean. And if you guys did Shift Shop, he did do Champions page. Remember, he would show up all the time, and he was really digging deep into the mindset. And it was just holding on tight to really understanding actual, shifting of your mindset, literally, that for a while I was like, I just don't understand this whole thing. So fast forward to January, then I get invited to go see Brendan Burchard's High Performance Academy. And I remember Brendan at Summit, and I've heard Brendan at Shalene's events. And all I ever remember about Brendan is he had an accident in the Dominican Republic, and he wants to know if he loved, or if he mattered. That's all I remember about that guy. And I was like, I don't think I want to do this. This is 12-hour days, or 10-hour days with this guy. It was a free ticket. I hadn't bought anything of his because I wasn't picking it up. And I was like, I'll just go the one day. It's right here in Phoenix. I'm crazy not to go. All these celebrities hire this guy. I just don't get it. I don't understand this guy. And if you guys were in the leadership training last year at Summit, the 2-star and above, he ran that, and he had us create words and start to put them in our phone. And I was like, what? Okay, whatever. This is weird. And I couldn't really spit words out at the time. I was like, I think I'm carrying, I was really, mind was just out there. And so I go to his event. First day, the first thing he basically says within the first hour, after having a dance party, by the way, I was like, who is this guy? It's a myth that you cannot build a business without losing your health or your family. He's like, that's a myth. You can build a very successful business and not sacrifice your family or your health. And he said, it takes tools and strategies to make that work. And I stopped. I was like, okay, I'm here till Sunday. I need to know what this guy's going to share. And wouldn't you know, a huge percentage of that event was mindset and literally next leveling yourself and your mind, and acting as if you're the 5-star, acting as if you're the 10-star, acting as if you're the, 6-figure earner, whatever, acting as if you're the great mom, everything, acting as if the people that you attract to you to join your team they're already coming. Like, for example, one of the best examples I can give is we know that the 2B mindset is going to be an explosive launch. Like, hands down, we knew the bars. Like, there was no question, right? Nobody questions. I mean, I know more about the 2B mindset being part of it. So for me, of course, my belief is like 1,000,000%, like, this is going to be so huge. But you already are like, okay, this is different. I'm seeing results. I know this is going to be massive. And there's no question. And what I realized and what he was teaching, you know, all of these guys weaved through this time of me learning was you have to go into your business with that thinking of like, I know I'm going to sign these people that are going to be amazing. They're going to be my tribe of people. And you have to always act that way. And again, he brings on the 3 words. And I'm like, oh, I remember this. Oh, what were those 3 words I picked in July? I can't remember. I was like stumped. And he's like, who are you? I want you to take a minute and write it out. And I'm like, I'm bold, I'm brave, I'm confident. I love to travel. I love this. I'm a great Mike. I'm just like going at it with this. When you go, he gives you this really cool, he calls this your manifesto. It's your life, right? And lots of good stuff in there. And I'm just going at it. And all of a sudden he stops and he's like, what are the 3 words that stand out to you in this, what you just wrote? And I'm like, bold, brave, confident. And then he started questioning, like, he said, you want to show up on social media like that person. How are you showing up now? How are you showing up for your team? Are you showing up as is, or are you showing up, you know, that person? And I was like, oh, like, no wonder they're like doing this struggle thing over here. It's like, because I'm not leveling up and showing up with that bold, brave, confident, you know, mindset despite reality. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Like, the message across all these people that I started studying from was really understanding who you are, your true identity. Like Chris this weekend, Chris Downing was in Phoenix, and we hosted him for Super Saturday. And he did a whole visual speech, like totally in line. And I was like, have you studied under Brendan? He's like, no, but I should. I was like, these messages are all in line. And his speech was very much that what happens is, and what was happening is, you allow people to rent space in your mind. You allow people to distract you from what your purpose is, what your mission is, what your vision is. Or in the case of Brendan, he says you get disconnected from your dream. And he's like, you need to be looking at your vision board every single day before you sit down to do work. And like every day. And of course, he says, put the 3 words in. Take your phone, set up an alarm, 10 a.m., 4 p.m. or 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Bold, brave, confident, bold, brave, confident. And it goes off. And you think, am I showing up bold, brave, and confident on social media? And am I showing up to my team that way? Am I showing up to my house that way type of thinking? You have to really work to create that person. And I know Chris will say, you have to write a letter to yourself. And you really, like, that was Chris's whole thing. Like, if you guys haven't heard Chris Downing's story, but his thing is he was in a really bad place and he didn't want to be in that place anymore. And he wrote this letter and he literally stayed focused with that vision of that letter and who he wanted to become. And here he is today. Like, that story's amazing. So these things were, you know, so helpful for me to find the joy in the business. So I have a couple tips for you guys. Number 1, create a fresh vision board with literally your deepest dreams. And I mean, like, let go of the, I don't know if I could ever be a 15-star. I don't know if I could ever hit the million club, or I don't know if I could ever, like, I don't know if you guys struggle with those limiting beliefs and thoughts, but, I still am like, how did I ever get where I got with these thoughts? Like, really, how did I get there? It's I think because I have such a fighter personality that I was willing to make it hard. And I remember I worked with this business coach and she was like, why do you make everything so hard? She's like, you need to stop. It's not hard. Stop it. And I couldn't like figure it out. Like, I don't know what my deal is. But I really felt like when bad things happened, I deserved it. I felt like I had to be stressed about things. I felt like I had to be, it had to be a struggle, and it really doesn't. And I'm so like excited to know that you don't have to feel that way or act like you have to, but you have to decide. Just like we know the 2B mindset is going to just be we just know, like there's no question in our minds. We know we're going to see huge, huge changes. We're going to see new people, new customers that we've never seen before. We just know. And so you have to act that way despite like whatever's happening in your life. So create a fresh vision board with the biggest dreams you have. And I mean like whatever gets you so excited, create it. Because the thing is, if you aren't putting it out there, what it is you really want for your life, the world, God, the universe, they don't know how to help you get that. You have to like really put it out there. You have to visualize it. You have to look at it so you get excited to sit down and talk with people and help people, like you should always be connected to your dream, always be connected to your purpose. There is so much noise and distraction. It's crazy, right? It's so I'm like guilty of having it all around all the time. And you have to remember like whatever it is that you have on that dream board for your family, what you're working for. So when you show up, you're like so excited and you know what you're working towards. Okay, set an alarm in your phone, pick your 3 words, and then show up and be that person. So I don't know if y'all haven't experienced that event with Brendan, if that was recorded. I don't think so. Maybe he has a podcast about it. Obviously, I would say go see High Performance Academy because that was a game changer. I still am like, how did I not want to go to this thing? And now I'm like in his master's program because I'm like, ooh, I need to learn more about this. I really want to next level myself even more. It doesn't just happen. Like you don't just decide today and then you're like, I'm going to be that person. That's why you need alarms. That's why you need to look at the vision board every day, because what are you working towards, right? Let's see, what else did I write here? I wrote, God didn't design you to be sitting in limiting beliefs and feeling less than. He's created a vision in your heart. It's your vision. It's no one else's. So own it. Every day, own it. Life is so short. Do not let petty stuff affect you. Like if a coach quits, so be it. Trust that something better is happening and coming. Make the business fun. Instagram stories. Or you could create a community through Facebook if that's where you hang out, that's branded. For example, we've got 2 different groups right now for the 2B mindset as we're getting ready to launch. And one of them I'm trying to create into a big community, and I called it the Mindset Mastery, where I can start to teach what I've learned and get them starting to think this way now, if I could save them from all the struggle I had. And then we have another one called You Can Live Your Life and Lose Weight. So we brand them. So, they're very unique names. Think of, what you're so passionate about, and you can create like self-care is something I'm really passionate about as well. Self-love, maybe meal prep is your jam. Like it's not mine, but, create a community, use Instagram stories, and study an area that you might be struggling in. So if it's money mindset, there's great books out there that if you guys want, I could give you some recommendations. If you, obviously, I would tell you go listen to High Performance Habits because he played a huge role in my life. I think even Chris Downing, he's not really a personal development guy, but I think he's done a great job learning from Alana in the 2B mindset. 100% I would recruit all coaches. I would not bring on customers. I would put them in the group with her because she's great. Like access to her is gold. And then work harder on you, your mind, your body than anything else, and you will not regret it. And you'll be super successful. So that's my tips.
Woo! Money, money, money. Lyndsi, you freaking rock. Girl! Good job. Okay, let's open it up. I know there was a couple questions. Jess, I don't know what your question 2 was. It was a long time ago, so sorry. Do you remember what it is? And if you want to unmute yourself, please do.
Yeah, she was talking about success partners. So I just have one, but I didn't know if she had more than one success partner.
I have 2.
Okay.
And let me tell you a secret about Success Partners. I leveled up. I went to a 15-star, like, millionaire, and I was like, so you want to be partners? And it was probably the best decision because I got to, like, you are who you surround yourself with. And I got to understand, like, how she developed, you know, leaders on her team. I got to understand, like, how she built her business. She learned from me, like, we talk every day. And then there's another one that came in. She's a Million Club earner. She's 11-star. And me and her are like, let's push for 15-star together, you know? So, like, we have so many, it's just awesome. Yeah. Did I answer that?
Yeah. Thanks.
It's so good to have, like, and do things together. It's just so nice because it's a different voice, because your team can sometimes be like, yeah, you know? So it's nice to have different voices.
For sure. Taryn had a question for you. So how are you transitioning your team challenge group after 80 day? So obviously we know you're going to 2B into the same program before. So let's ask that question. Is there a majority of people that are going to stay with 80 day, that were in your 80 day? And then I'm assuming, is that correct? Or are they all going to 2B?
I think, so I leveled up and I'm acting like the bold, brave, confident Lyndsi, right? So they're literally like, whatever she's doing, I'm doing. They're kind of following my direction just because I keep showing up in that, like, high level way, and getting them. So, like, the energy I bring is, like, next level to them. And they're like, I don't know what this program is, but I'm in, like, whatever she's, you know. So I think for me, and I'm not trying to be like, you can't, you know, 80 days horrible. Like, I actually like the workouts. I'm not, I don't know anything about this time nutrition because I've been 2B before 80 day came out. And I think if I were you, my thoughts are those who are obsessed, let them be obsessed. And those who maybe struggled or are ready for a breather, ready for a change, like, 2B mindset is going to bring such a freedom, so simple and so free that you guys are going to be like, wait, what? That's it? It's, I mean, there's so much support too, because there's going to be a lot of questions of, like, no, this can't be. And it's just different, like nothing you've ever seen. So I mean, I would recommend people all give it a shot. It's so good. But you see, like, all I do is do this, and they're like, I need to do whatever she's doing. So I don't know if that helps you, but I think Lift 4, whatever it's called, I think that's going to be so good. And I'm so excited to do that with the 2B plan. I probably won't eat another way ever again. If I'm being honest, like, I don't care what Joel's eating plan is. I'm like, no, 2B mindset is my jam. Like, it's I've traveled, I've had the holidays, I've had life happen, and I've lost weight. Like, there is, and mind you, I was a girl that was, you know, shift shop. I kind of did it on the side, and he has you cut carbs and he has you do all these things. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what do I do now? What's next? Like, and for me, I would kind of like, okay, just follow. And then I'd get stuck. And then things would start to go back, and I'd be like, okay, how did I get back here? And then I'd have a doctor be like, well, it's you have PCOS. It's just hard for you to lose weight. Like, it just is what it is. And I would own it. I would be like, okay, this is me. This is what it is. And I made it hard, right? It was hard for everything. And so I've busted all those plateaus, all of them. Like, people are like, who are you? Where did you go? And they're knocking down my door ready to get on board. And I think it's nice too, because if you guys have people who struggle with the workout, like all my parents, I think right away I'm like, oh, getting parents on board, you know, like I'm thinking of stuff like that. So I would encourage them all to give it a shot, and if they'll know within day one if it's for them or not. Like, easily they'll be like, or they'll be like, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think the biggest thing I wanted to say with that, and the thing with the program is, the way that it's different is the first month is the trial month and you have to figure it out. And I know Lyndsi's going to talk about this a lot on the channel stage on Friday when she goes live about the program. But this is a program that literally there's no end date. So everybody's like, okay, is it 30 days? Is it 60 days? Is it 90 days? It's like, no. Like you figure it out the first 30 and then you implement it, into your daily life. And so it is such a beautiful thing. There's so much content coming this week. Next week, we have Kevin, which is this man right here, who is, hi, Kev, just wave. Thank you. And I'll be talking on the Champs page tomorrow about the 2B mindset. So you'll get more nuggets, and you have Lyndsi going live about it on Friday. So I would just say this is drive that program like none other, because as you all know, we have never had a program like this before, but it is a life-changing program, like total, and it's the same thing, mindset. It all goes with the whole mindset of it all. So, but your excitement, Lyndsi, I mean, you sold me, like sold, done.
I sold Chris Downing. He was like, what is this woman doing? I go watch your Instagram. He's like, I want to do this.
Oh, that's cute. Cute little Chris. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, Shannon has a question for you.
Sure.
Favorite mindset books?
Ooh, okay. I feel like I need to look at my phone at my Audible. So give me a second here. So I've watched let's see. The Secret was amazing. The Secret books are amazing. Brendan is amazing. I don't know how I didn't realize how mindset focused he was, but he really is. And he is diehard about you shifting into this person. Another person that really helped me was, she doesn't have a book, and she's not the most cheapest way to learn, but her name's Amanda Francis, and she's a money mindset queen. And when we were, dealing with the dip of 2016, 17, like the struggle bus ride in Beachbody, if you will, I think one of the things that like kept me pressing forward was really understanding that I had to shift my beliefs, which was mixed with watching Carl going to Brittany and being like, everything okay over there? Like everything good, and like just trusting that. And now I'm like, yeah, that was smart of me to hang in there. So mindset was definitely, I took a lot of, and she'll do some live videos here and there. She's very woo-woo, if you will, like kind of over there. But I just take like exactly how to, the minute like you decide something that you want to accomplish, all these like, and your coaches, your customers, like literally it happens to everybody. All of a sudden it's, you can't do this, you're not good enough. Like it all just floods your brain. And what I was taught by Amanda, like one of the greatest things she said was, be aware of what's coming at you, that you're not good enough. And mind you, people will say things like that, and it'll try and rent space in your brain. And you literally have to be like your biggest cheerleader and be like, I'm brave, I'm bold, brave, and confident, like stay out my brain. But be aware. And then you reframe the story of, I'm not good enough to, I actually am good enough. I am these things. And you shift to I am, like constantly. You have to like, and it takes a bit because you're kind of like, am I good enough? And that I think for me was part of like this negative, like, how did I get here? Am I really, you guys, like I turned down the National Wake Up Call multiple times because I didn't think I had anything to give. I'm over here at Elite and they're like, why aren't you speaking and helping? And I'm like, I got nothing. I don't know what I'm doing over here. And they were like, what do you mean you don't know what you're doing? And I'm like, I got nothing. And it took, I think the third time I got asked, I was like, okay, I can do this. Like I had to convince myself, which is weird, but that's what you do. You like literally have to be your biggest cheerleader. Like you have to, and allow the people around you that are your cheerleaders, like your partners and the people that bring you life in your team. Stay close to them. The ones who are draining you, the ones who are, remember, if family isn't supportive, it's because they don't get your dream. They just don't get it yet. And that's fine. It's not their dream, it's yours. Does that make sense? So Brendan, The Secret was amazing. I've listened to that Girl Wash Your Face was pretty good book. Amanda was really helpful because I journal. So I'll be like, okay, so let me give you an example. So I studied her program, or I studied this mindset thing, money mindset, and I would be like, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm fit, like I kept saying this to myself, and I was like, I have no idea how I'm ever going to be, size 4, size, like I was lost, like who knows how, but I am this because that's what I'm being told to do. So I'm following the rules, and sure enough, here we are, and I actually see the light of being there because of the right thing came up at the right time. So don't always worry about the house. I know some of the personalities that are very facts and figures are like, how, tell me everything. And it's one of those where you literally have to have faith and just keep putting it out there and trusting the right stuff's going to come your way, because it's crazy to me to say, when I look at the affirmations I've written, what comes to reality. I mean, it literally will become reality. We just don't always know how. I've heard of that book. I have not read it yet.
It's good. Great one with mindset, having faith, energy work. It's really good. So I'll just throw this one up here.
When I was learning about, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of tapping, which like where you go like this. And I was like, I don't know about all that stuff. And sure enough, Brendan comes out and teaches it. I'm like, of course he does. So like, I mean, I can't like talk about that guy enough. Now I'm like, why isn't he coming to Summit this year? He's really a brilliant guy. Now I understand why people go to him and want to understand, because he helps you really get up here despite like reality. And you have to be working from up here constantly and getting yourself up here to, get everybody to get on board with you. Like they have to see you in your, I guess best self is a good word. I mean, vulnerable is good too. They need to know your truth. So I hope it kind of helps.
No, that's awesome. We have time for one last question. Any of you? Great suggestions. I love this little book poll on the right. I'm writing every single one down because I'm a book junkie.
Yeah, I can come back and send you more if I think of them.
Please do. Was this call helpful, ladies? Do you feel like, holy crap, at the end of the day, it just comes down to your stinking mindset? Like, it's so stinking true. And it was so great because when Lyndsi was at High Performance Habits, she's messaging me. And then I have Hal messaging me, her husband. He's like, it's good when she says, you have to be here. Like, so, I think this is the thing is, it might feel a little weird. It might feel a little odd. And I think that's when you realize you probably need it the most. And so at the end of the day, I mean, thank you so much. I mean, obviously, Lyndsi, you did an incredible job, but I just want to open it. Do we have one last question that we want to ask our fearless leader that spoke with us today? No. Looks like they've all been writing a lot. So
go find an amazing partner and do everything with them. I'm telling you, it'll bring so much energy. You won't even know what to do with yourself. Like, it's like awesome to have, partners. I encourage you guys to really find someone and bravely ask. Like I bravely asked her and I almost threw up.
For sure.
Like, she's next level to me, but I think it's important because it's helped me next level so many things in my business. And when you guys, I don't know what your all's goals are, but remember your vision boards and just act as if you're already in the $1 million club or in the 6-figure brackets or the 5-star bracket or whatever it is you're pushing for. Act as if, and it all like really does come to play and you're like, wow, this is crazy cool. So hope that helps you guys.
Love it. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, ladies, for staying on with us. Such a great call. Please put it into action. The 3 actions that she told you, like I literally wrote down, create a fresh new vision board. Like I was like, oh, okay, yep, need to do that. So I'm just going to challenge you, those actions, make it happen, and then take this to your team. Get them excited about Q2 goals and what is on the horizon. They have so much to work towards by, by Summit. So the time is so there, and I would just say, just run with this. But thank you, Lyndsi. That was so incredible. Okay, ladies, have a great day, okay?
Bye.
Bye.